Well, Steve, tell us a little bit about your company and what you're doing here.
All right, so Guardian's Complete Landcare is a brand new, full-service tree care, plant health care, and landscape company. Our primary focus right now has been in landscape. Tree care is picking up, and plant health care got off to an amazing start. No thanks in part to the to this van here.
Okay, Steve. So you're the guy that runs the company.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the guy that uses it every day.
No.
Now, I've already talked to Mitch, and he's pretty thrilled about this piece of equipment you bought for him here. But from an owner's standpoint, what's this doing for the company?
This
Image, money, however you want to define that.
from an image standpoint, it is great to have this van because it is very incognito when it's rolling through the neighborhoods. People don't see the big truck with the tanks. All they see is this van. And particularly in our area, in the Washington, D.C., Metro Washington area, it gets onto those tight streets a little bit easier than the old 1,000-gallon sprayers that used to occupy the streets. From a logistical standpoint, because this van has the abilities to do dry applications as well as liquid applications, I'm able to send this van out to do both turf and IPM in the same truck, which allows us to save a little bit of money because I don't have to have two trucks to do one job. And typically Mitch will show up, he'll do the IPM visit, and then turn around and do the turf visit while he's there.
Very efficient. It pushes all the money to the bottom line, right?
Yes,
Puts a little bit more money in your pocket.
Yes, it does.
Plus, your customers like the fact that they can make one call and get all these services from one company.
Mm-hmm. That is correct. And what people really like about the van, and the biggest or the most common thing I've been told, is if they didn't know we were spraying out of this van, they would have never guessed it was a spray truck.
Okay, perfect. You go into some pretty high rent areas in the Washington, D.C. area.
Correct.
So this piece of equipment kind of gets you into the door of some of these kinds of places, or it helps.
It really does. Appearance has a lot to do with any company. Folks aren't going to want to pay that top dollar that this industry should be commanding from every client if you're showing up in a truck that might have been purchased in the 1970s.
Right. Operating costs. This gets pretty good fuel mileage. How has it been so far? It's you're into this about 18 months. You've been through 2 seasons with this truck now.
One season.
One season. Okay.
We've been through 1 season, and gas mileage is fantastic. Maintenance is very smooth. We've had to only change the oil once since we've had it, and no mechanical problems at all.
Okay. One of the problems that the industry has today is finding quality people. They're just hard to find. And I'm thinking that having a piece of equipment like this is not only good to attract quality people, but also to retain quality plant healthcare professionals.
That is correct. I can tell you that the kind of folks that I like to attract are the types of folks that are interested in the latest and greatest technology. A lot of employees are hungry for that kind of information that they can obtain when they're working for a company that uses equipment like this. I get a lot of jaw drops when they look inside the van and see what the capacity is of this truck and what its abilities are. Not just with the spray equipment, but the NCheck system we use quite a bit, and that is extremely helpful. We don't have to run gas to run the motors. You just fill those little cartridges up, and it can go anywhere on the property. If your hose is too short, it can reach. And it has the ability to store multiple backpacks, so you avoid any cross-contamination.
Okay. You already mentioned the fact that you can take a certain amount of granular. You have a refrigerator in here, so if you decide to do beneficials, that equipment's all in here. So there's really nothing from an IPM standpoint that you can't do with this rig.
That is correct. And the use of beneficials is growing in popularity.
Okay, great. It's a little bit too soon to tell, maybe, just being 1 year into this, but do you think this piece of equipment not only paying for itself, but it's contributing to the bottom line?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Okay. Part of it's because of its efficiency.
Part of it's because of its efficiency. Part of it is the low maintenance that goes along with this piece of equipment, and some of the little bells and whistles that come with this truck. The fact that when you fold out the hose, that piece folds out beyond the truck, so you're not having rub up against the vehicle or rub in the hoses. It extends past, and then once you wind that hose up, because you're able to pull the button away, you're able to take a look around at your environment and avoid any potential accidents while reeling up your hose.
Okay. Steve, any final thoughts? Anything that I failed to ask that you'd like to mention about this rig, or its profitability, or the success that you're having with it?
This rig is extremely profitable, extremely efficient, and even though it is a little bit more expensive than, say, some of the other units that are available, this is the future of IPM. And particularly in the DC area, where everybody's super conscious about chemicals and polluting the environment, the last thing you want to do is roll down the truck or roll down the street with a large truck with a bunch of tanks off the back.
All right.